Have you ever wondered why soldiers who wouldn't hurt a fly commit war crimes? It has less to do with their morals and more with the role they think they need to play. Today I'm going to show you how the role you see yourself in can boost or destroy your actions, your habits, and your self-esteem. Humans create roles for themselves: the smart one, the shy one, the helper, the responsible one, the achiever. All these roles act like mental scripts. You interpret situations based on the character you think you are. Your identity drives your behavior more than your motivation does. When you believe you're the responsible one, you automatically act responsibly. When you see yourself as the failure, you unconsciously avoid trying and self-sabotage yourself. An example for this are policemen who break down peaceful protests which are done for a noble cause just because they see themselves as the guardians of the government and representatives of the state. This is tied to the self-schema theory and self-perception theory. Your brain filters the world according to your internal narrative. When someone thinks they're awkward, they walk into a room already scanning for signs that they don't fit in. That role shapes their actions before anything even happens. This is because your self-esteem isn't about how you feel, it's about how you define yourself. If your role is inspiring, you feel powerful. If your role is limiting, you feel stuck. People often adapt roles from childhood, culture, or past experiences without realizing it. Someone who grew up being called the troublemaker may keep repeating that behavior as an adult, even if they want to change. And again, there is a loop behind this behavior. You create a role, that role shapes your actions, the results of those actions reinforce your identity, and because of that your self-image changes. This loop can work in both ways, positive and negative. If you believe you're not good at speaking, you avoid speaking. Therefore, you don't speak, you don't improve, you have bad results. Your identity of not being a speaker is being reinforced, and therefore your self-esteem drops and you see yourself as a bad speaker. On the other hand, if you believe you're a learner, you try new things, you improve, your confidence rises. So now we figured out how your role shapes your identity and your self-image. And now you're probably wondering, how do you rewrite your role and how do you choose what role you assume yourself in? The very first step is awareness. You have to become aware what your current roles are and when those roles control you and take overhand over your conscious thinking. Another thing that's important is that you need to assume that most traits are not something you're born with, but can be learned and improved. You have to replace the negative role you're in with the growth identity, which means that the results and failures you're experiencing are not there because of a trait you're born with, but because of a mistake or action you've done. This gives you then the power to change your action or fix your mistake and therefore get a different result that matches your expectations. It's easier if you try with small actions that match the new role, so you can start to build self-esteem and self-identity slowly. If you don't see yourself as a good public talker, try talking to people you know and try explaining things to them. Then you can start to move on to people you don't know and explain things to them. And after you've done that, you can try talking to a crowd of people who are interested in what you're saying. And then you can move on to people who aren't interested in the things you're saying. You don't need to become a different person overnight. You just need to choose a different role. Your actions follow your identity, and your self-esteem follows your actions. Rewrite the character you're playing, and your whole life starts to shift. Did you ever feel like you've been stuck in a role? Tell me in the comments, I'll read them through. Thank you.